then be sure to subscribe. Bleh. Hey Surthrivers, welcome back to episode 2 of Surthriving Artist TV, why online entrepreneurship is the perfect survival job. Here we go. Okay, so why is online entrepreneurship the perfect survival job for actors and performers? 2 words: location independence. What do I mean by that? It means you can literally work from anywhere. I mean, I'm talking to you today from inside of my cabin aboard the Golden Princess. For those of you who don't know, I am a full-time singer-dancer in the production shows for Princess, and I've been with them for about 7 years now. In total, I've spent the last 14 years or so running all over the world, going wherever my gigs took me. I have been so fortunate. I think I'm up to something like 70 countries now. There are a couple of things about this gigging lifestyle that are particularly challenging. One of them is, working gigs. You're working short-term contract-based jobs a lot of the time, and that means that income can vary quite a bit. Some months you can be doing really, really well, have the money coming in when you're working a gig like on a cruise ship, but as soon as you step off of the ship and that gig comes to an end, it means that your paycheck stops, right? It's easier to deal with this inconsistency in pay when you are a locally based actor, whether you're somewhere like New York City or Los Angeles, or if you're a musician in Nashville or whatever. But when you do this whole nomadic gigging entertainer thing, it becomes a lot more challenging, because when I'm away on a cruise ship, I can't work my waitress job back home, So it becomes really challenging to come up with a way to fill in the holes in your income. Back in 2010, I got started on this whole entrepreneurial journey when I decided to join a network marketing company. At the time, I was working a gig in Japan. I was working a 13-month contract at Universal Studios in Osaka, and the problem that I had was that the company that I had joined didn't actually operate in Japan. So what that meant was I had to build my entire business online. And I relied heavily on social media to start conversations with people that were already in my network and reach out to people and see if they were interested in the products or the business opportunity. As you can imagine, I burned through my network pretty quickly. And so I started diving into learning everything I possibly could about online marketing so that I would never run out of people to talk to about my business. Fast forward a little, I've now been with Princess Cruises for about 7 years. I've been really fortunate. They seem to like me. They keep asking me back. But about 2.5 years ago, I got to the end of a contract and they didn't have one for me. So I decided to go ahead and take advantage of the time that I would be on land, and rather than just bide my time, I decided to make the move out to Nashville, which is something I'd been wanting to do for a long time. In addition to musical theater and such, which is what I went to school for, I have always been a musician and a songwriter and all of that. To make a long story short, when I moved to Nashville, I had an opportunity come up where I was able to get a job where I was working on retainer with a software company, and I was freelancing with their marketing department. Now, this was a job that I did remotely. The company was based in St. Louis, and I did everything from Nashville. Because I worked remotely, I worked on my laptop, I was able to create my own schedule and everything. So as long as I hit my deadlines, I had a super, super flexible work schedule so that I could go ahead and schedule co-writes and writers rounds and other live gigs around town that I was doing. So it was really kind of the perfect survival gig for me at the time. If you want to learn more about how I got that particular job, there's a link below that you can click on, and it'll take you to a page where you can opt in, you can download the case study and read the whole story in depth. So there I was in Nashville living out my little singer-songwriter dreams, and about 5 months later, I got an email from Princess saying that they needed a singer for a replacement contract, an emergency replacement. So I packed up my life, and 10 days later, I flew out to join that ship in Fort Lauderdale to spend the next few months cruising in the Caribbean. Now, because I was already working remotely for the software company, I decided to keep that job even when I came and joined the ship. So during that time, between my shipboard income as an entertainer and my marketing income from this company I was working with, I was making just shy of $10,000 a month. I laugh a little bit because it still sounds kind of ridiculous to me. Sidebar, to be perfectly honest, I ended up letting that job go a few months later because it was just a little too difficult for me to stay on top of hitting deadlines and, making sure that I was in constant communication with the team I was working with and such because of limited connectivity. For any of you who have ever worked on a cruise ship, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. But that time taught me how powerful online entrepreneurship was for entertainers who live this gigging nomadic lifestyle. And I knew that if I had figured out how to make money from wherever my gigs took me, that meant that other people like me could benefit from it as well. That's all for now. I really hope that this has inspired you. I hope that it's gotten your gears going and gotten you thinking about different ways that you could maybe tap into the potential of making money online and how that can add to your bottom line and increase your quality of life so you can ditch this whole starving artist thing and step into being a Surthriving artist instead. If you dug the video, please go ahead and hit subscribe. My name is Lee, and I will see you next time.